Is it easier to play your character that you've gotten into now, or is it hard to keep it fresh?
You know, that's a really good question, because it's easier in a way because you're so familiar with the character, but keeping it fresh, you have to do your work, you know. What does she want in this scene, and what is her goal, and what's the conflict? I mean, all those things that we learned in acting school. That's a really good question. I try to keep it fresh by doing the work, going through the process. They'll tell you, I read the scripts, I have questions, I take it very seriously. I did with Arrested Development too. It's the same thing, whether it's an animated character or real life human being.
Actually, oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No.
Oh no. Going on that with Arrested Development, both Lucille and Mallory are like really, really strong and often mean characters. What's the biggest difference between doing the physical performance on something like Arrested versus like voicing on Archer? Is it like a different approach?
This is another good question. Actually, I approach it the same way, but with animation, you have to have a lot more vocal energy. You know, if I had that kind of vocal energy with Lucille, it would be way over the top because there's a camera right in your face. But I think you could go much broader with animation. You know, there's a certain energy, there's vocal energy that's required. Even though it's as truthful, there's not a camera right up your nose, making it look ridiculous. It's sort of the difference between like a close-up and a master shot when you're filming a human being. You can be much smaller, even though it's the same truth. You can be much smaller in a close-up than you are in the master.
You see those two characters as different. They certainly have certain things in common in terms of being very fraught mother figures. I mean, how do you see them diverging?
How do I see them as different?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've said this before, but Mallory let her hair go gray, and Lucille would never, ever. They are similar, I think Lucille is a little more obviously desperate, trying to hang on to the lifestyle that she is accustomed to having, and being in real big trouble with the government and everything else. And I think Mallory, and here's another difference, which in the work I made for the characters, is that Mallory is a self-made woman, and Lucille is not. She's coasting along on her family's money, her husband's success. So she's not as, she thinks she's really smart, and she is, but not business savvy, obviously, like Mallory is. Big difference to be self-made and to coast along on the family. Look at these good questions I'm getting from you people.
Archer.
This is without coffee.
Yeah.
No coffee.
Archer is a comedy, but it plays it very straight with the spy material and all that.
Right.
Is it a challenge to balance the playing it straight and going for the laughs?
I never go for laughs. I think that's a real trap. And I don't think that we're ever directed with Archer ever, and especially with Arrested Development, never to go for laughs. I mean, Mitch Hurwitz, who's the creator of Arrested, was absolutely, against the punchline, set up, bum. He would totally, and of course we didn't have a laugh track, which helps. And it helps that we don't have a laugh track on Archer. But I don't think, no actor I know who's any good would go for a laugh. That's like death. So, anything else?
You haven't made many appearances along with the cast for different Comic-Cons and stuff. Is this your first time at New York Comics? It is.
Yeah, I was a little terrified to go to San Diego. I heard there were 5,000 people. And being my age, now I have courage. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I live here, so this was easy. This was easy. So I'm getting my feet wet to see.
Very cool.
Glad to have you.
To see what it is. And so far, it's okay. There's no crowds, but we'll see.